Welcome to another episode of the History of the Bay podcast. Got to shout out the sponsors, Amoeba Music in San Francisco, Dying Breed San Francisco. Go get your graffiti supplies from the fellas. Behind the lens, we got King Said. Behind the boards, we got DEO. And today we got another special guest. This young lady has been holding it down for the Bay for quite a few years now. Very unique style, very unique sound, a lot of accolades, nationwide representation. Are we getting all shy? You know, we talking about Kamaiyah, y'all. The one and only Kamaiyah is in the house today.
Hola, ¿cómo estás?
Bien, ¿y tú? ¿Hablas español? Más o menos? Poquito, muy bien.
Yeah, poquito.
Okay.
Poquito.
I'm glad that you're here because you're actually performing at our event.
Yes.
October 19th, History of the Bay Day, Souls of Mischief, My Figures, Kamaiyah. It's going to be amazing. I'm so excited because I am a genuine fan of your music.
Thank you. I can't wait to go see Hustler because I know he's going to be acting at a damn fool.
That's going to be crazy.
Boy, one thing about that brother there.
Yeah.
He's going to turn up.
Shout out to the Hush, man. And we actually got a couple more people we're adding to the bill.
Okay.
We're going to shock it. We're going to shock it. So make sure you get your tickets.
I got a special request for 3 times crazy. Cross my fingers.
Oh, you never know.
Keep it on the real.
You never know. Keek actually performed at last year's event.
Okay.
But we might have to scoop up Bart and Adrian.
That's my favorite song of all time.
That's a classic, ain't
In the Bay, the best song ever.
Well,
that and Pimp of the Year, oh my God.
Oh, it's interesting that you say that, but more on that later. But yeah, man, that's one thing I like about your music is actually it's very Bay, very Oakland.
People say that, but then people who not from here think it's like different just based on my melodicness. I feel like I try to keep it like funky and shit just based on the origins of the sound, but the actual lyricism is not of an orthodox Bay Area artist, and I think that's why I transcended outside of it. Great point. Yeah, the production certainly got that very mobby, party-oriented. But yeah, the vocal style is very unique, melodic. It translates well to like what's going on with the rest of the current climate.
Exactly. But I could tell that you actually you really love music, huh? I do. I actually pay attention to music theory and study music differently. Like, Quake is in here. They can't see him. Shout out to Quake Beats in the house. My engineer and producer, he'll tell you, like, I strategically make music a certain way. I don't want to give away what I do, but we make music in a way of which we know where and how I sound my best. Yeah. And I don't think artists even pay attention to that. They just want to do music because they just want to rap for the neighborhood type thing now. Sure. You know, when I was coming up, it was different. Like, you really had to prove yourself. Nobody believed in you. Yeah. It was a certain structure of who was this, that, and the third, and it was only so many people. Now, anybody can just wake up and make a song because they just think it's just rhyming. And I don't think it's that. I think it's a different type of thing. There was a lot more gatekeepers around the time that you came out. But on the music theory tip, that's like definitely separates a real artist from someone who's just fucking around with it, right? But yeah, I mean, I want to get into your career because it's been an interesting journey, but it's the history of the Bay. So we got to tell your history. We got to start at the beginning. Honestly, I started when I was like 9. No, before that. We got to let the people know where you born and raised in the town. So I was born and raised in Oakland. My original origin story, I started on 73rd and Lockwood. I didn't stay there that long. I'd probably say from like birth to like 4. Then I ended up like in Hayward for a little bit. Then I ended up going to foster care. So after foster care, when I was like 7, 8, I lived on High Street till I was like 15, 16. So that's where I'm from. That's where I got my, you know, technically they say you from 73rd, but it's like, I don't know none of them niggas. I didn't really get my stripes till I got to High Street. So that's what I claim. That's where I'm from. Was that with a foster family or like a group home? No, so when I moved to High Street, I moved with my grandmother. Gotcha. So she got me after foster care. Your guardian. So after like, I want to say from like 6 to 8 or something, I was in foster care. And then I was with my grandmother. What was it like going through that system so young? I wouldn't recommend it. Highly unrecommend it. You know, I don't feel like people understand like how it's traumatizing for a child to just get ripped out of a consistent family-oriented environment to be with a bunch of strangers. And I wasn't in one home. I was in at least 12. Not even being dramatic. So it's like that's just in its own self just suffering for a kid, you feel me? So I peed in the bed till I was like 13, 12.
I flinched when people got too close to me. I had a lot of issues just because my nerve system wasn't regulated based on the environments that I kept going through.
I appreciate you sharing that because, a lot of times you might see people dealing with these issues on the outside looking in, but there's a whole nother layers behind it.
No, but you know what? I feel like I wouldn't be me if I didn't experience the things I experienced. You know what I'm saying? I feel like a lot of the times the people who are great or successful, they have a very, 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 very deep villain story of some origin of trauma that creates fire in you. If you smart, you take that and use it as fuel and energy to become better. Some people like to victimize themselves, but I'm a survivor. I didn't let it, I didn't succumb to my circumstances.
I like that. Yeah. I like that. Strong black woman, y'all.
Yeah.
No, that's cool. And so your grandmother had to put some effort into get custody.
It was a thing.
Yeah.
They didn't want to release me. Like, they let my brothers out within 2 weeks. With me, it was like, nah.
Yeah.
We keeping her.
Yeah.
I think it was just because they felt my abuse was a little bit more severe than theirs at that time. It felt like more strategized with the woman, not the boys. So they was like, nah, she's not safe in this environment. Even though my grandmother was like, well, I'll take her. It was like, well, why didn't you take her previously when these things were taking place type thing?
Yeah, I think that's the hard part about that system, too, is like you have like basically the government like making decisions and getting all in your mix.
And that was my paternal grandmother and not maternal, and you know how that is. When it's not the maternal side, it's way harder for the father side to do anything.
Yeah.
And then my maternal side is like, they had their own strife and trials and tribulations, so it's like, I'm not finna release her to you because your kids have also been here before. It was just a lot of stuff that I just say it's hella ghetto, highly unrecommended. That's why I think I don't have children, because I'm scared just based on my own trauma.
Yeah.
I don't want my kid to ever feel nothing I felt,
Of course. And when you say like hella ghetto, I know what you mean, but do you feel like there's like it's a systemic issue in the community?
Absolutely, because your parents can only teach you what they knew, or they only do what they saw. So even the abuse, that's from slavery.
Generational.
Yeah, that's generationally inbred from like slavery. Like Massa beat you when you wrong. Your parents got out of that. They great-great-parents, and they doing that to you because they didn't want them to know you could read or whatever the hell it may be. And it just kept going on down and down and down and down. You know what I'm saying?
Is breaking that cycle something that motivates you?
Yeah. I think that's what got me out the ghetto, for real.
I love it. I love to hear
I don't want no kids. I don't want to be on welfare, Section 8, none of that.
Yeah.
Because I just felt like that's a crutch, and it hinders you. And there's no offense to nobody who does that, if you got to get by. But from what I saw, I feel like a lot of people just use that forever. And I feel like when you get comfortable in something, it's a pattern, it's consistent, you'll never think you could do anything else. So my main objective was to never have children and to never end up in that. And I feel like I overlapped it. Because the age where it was very pivotal for me to be pregnant and end up in this system, I didn't. I became a superstar, which is very unorthodox.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
That's very inspiring too, though.
Thank you.
Yeah. Did you get, like, when you did end up in your grandmother's care, did you get grounded a little bit, or were you wilding out?
I don't feel like I was really bad. I feel like the things that I was disciplined for was just normal shit. Because I feel like she was overbearing to a degree because of what her children did before me. So it's like, you can't go outside, you can't do this. And it's like, that's what kids do.
Yeah.
Kids play with their friends. Kids go here. Kids lie. They go to house parties. I shouldn't be fucking condemned for that.
Yeah.
So that's why me and her, like, we don't even have a good relationship to this day because of certain things that I remember. Trauma, it has a way of being suppressed. When you get a certain age, these core memories start unlocking. And people think you forget things, but then you recall it. And it's like, well, I never, yes, you did. You thought you banked on me not remembering, but I did.
Right.
It's not in your favor that I remember.
Have you done therapy and stuff?
Hell yeah. That's why I can tell you these things.
Yeah, I was like, you've done some work here. This is very mature analysis. Because I think that's the thing, though. I deal with a lot of people. I could tell, I'm like, oh, you got some issues you never confronted. And you still dealing with them.
Nah, I don't go to therapy frequently because I feel like I have what is it called? Internally, I know who I am. And I have a system of accountability, etc., and understanding of life and people's ways, what they taught, their behavior. People can only love you the way they know how, etc. So it's like the only time I kind of technically go to therapy if it's just like I'm overwhelmed, which is circumstance. This person's dying, this person's dying, or financial issues or things that I can't talk to other people about because they feel as if, oh, because you made it out the ghetto, if I had this, I would do this. And it's like, you'll never understand my problem, so I'm not going to bring that to you. Yeah. I'm going to take that to a specialist who understands like the pressures I feel of still trying to maintain the lifestyle and grow within it.
I mean, I think naming these things the way you're doing is actually a big part of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like we said earlier, Kamaiyah will be performing at the second annual History of the Bay Day at the Midway in San Francisco on October 19th, along with Souls of Mischief, Mob Figures doing the tribute to the Jacka, myself, and many more special guests we are about to announce, plus sets by some of the Bay Area's best DJs, a live women in hip-hop discussion panel, live podcast, graffiti art gallery, and much more. Tickets are moving fast, but you can still get yours at the link in the description of this episode.
So you're growing up in your grandmother's house in Oakland, which is, I would say, culturally is the heart and soul of the Bay Area. I'm from Frisco, but I'll give it up to the town for that. What kind of influence did that environment have on you?
I feel like it was my main fire and drive to be successful. One of my biggest things and reason why I became who I am is because I ended up back with my grandmother. When I turned 23, my mom kicked me out, and I'm telling you these things that the memories started unlocking when I got back to my grandmother's house, and I wasn't there from nothing but July to November. Then I had How Does It Feel? You know, July, June, I shot Out the Bottle.
Wow.
So it was like that, and my mother kicking me out was like, all right, I got to figure this shit out because I don't even want to eat because I'm uncomfortable. You know? Those things like that, like I don't even want to eat your food. And I'm not saying that she's an evil lady, but it's just the things that I remembered is like, I'm not comfortable here. I don't want to sleep here. I don't want to be here. It was so bad that I was lying saying I was in L.A. when I was really at my friend's house, sleep on the floor when he's dying from cancer. Because I just didn't want to go back to the environment. As soon as I signed my deal, I got an apartment. I went and picked my things up and never went back to that home.
Damn, so you had a real fire.
Yeah.
To do this music.
Yeah, no, I had to get the fuck. Like it was.
Wow.
It wasn't even a second guess or a question. Like you got to do something with yourself.
Yeah, man, I feel like that is really what pushes people to success. Like you can't really half-ass a career as a musician. Like most successful musicians or artists, period, it's like it's this or nothing.
And I feel like nothing comes without sacrifice, and I think a lot of people don't believe in that theory. But you got to understand that I had nothing but shit to sacrifice at that time. Yeah. I'm not paying car notes. I don't want to pay rent, nothing, because I'm like, I got to invest into this dream.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of us get complacent within our dynamic and structure because systemically, that's how it's created. From the time you're a child, you go to school from 8 to 4, so it's creating this environment where you already going to be a worker unless you break the mold and get out of the matrix.
Yeah, I know exactly.
And a lot of people
what you mean.
don't pay attention to that. Like, you at daycare from this hour, you at school from this hour, then you get out of that, then you go to work from this hour. So it's like, who's going to be the one who creates their own schedule? And I was like, man, this ain't for me. I can't, this ain't the life for me. I deserve so much more. I'd have been through too much to suffer in it even more, you know? I
know exactly what you mean, because when I was like 18, 19, if you had a job bagging groceries, like, you was doing it.
Yeah.
It was like, put me on, bro. You got a job? How I get that, bro? You working at Cragen? Like, they hiring? Like, that was like the biggest aspiration. And I know a lot of people that haven't even broken out of that yet.
They just stuck on the warehouse jobs or the fucking oil mines. And it's the same shit. Driving forklifts, it's like, damn. When we gonna start our own businesses or you create your own trucking system? Like, it's these things that they just give to us and we don't think we can prosper outside of them. Yeah. Like CNAs and RNs, everybody mama want to do this. It's just like, it's so much other shit.
Right. So much other shit. There's nothing wrong with those jobs.
No, nothing at all. But it's like, you just talk off top. If you don't go to school, back then it was Everest, what the fuck it was called.
Oh, yeah.
They're like, go to Everest or Western Career College. That's what it was.
DeVry and all that.
Fucking Western Career College. That's why everybody was CNAs, because it was like, shit, I can do this.
Yeah.
It was just, even me back then, shit, I went to Everest and I signed up. I was about to, and then something just told me, like, this ain't for you. Because my mom boyfriend at the time, I called him my dad. He was like, you going to be a nurse. Before I die, I'm going to make sure you something. My sisters is nurses. You going to be a nurse. They make good money. My sister drive a Benz. And I'm looking at her life like, well, shit, I drive a Benz right now, and I'm just a security guard, so shit. I mean, it ain't the newest one, but it's what 2013, 14. I was in the 2007. I'm like, shit, I can aspire to get to that, but if I could get this one, I know I can get a better one doing it my way. Because I got this my way, so that's what kept me from that. I'm like, I don't want to do that shit.
Well, you mentioned that your music journey for you feel like it started when you were like 9 years old?
It was poetic. It was therapeutic.
Poetry, songwriting.
Yeah, I used to write poetry. Because I studied Tupac a lot, and I noticed he was a poet, and then I read a lot of books. So I learned from that. That's how I learned how to write music, is from poetry. That's why even when I rhyme, people be like, how does this part rhyme with this part, that part? The way you're doing it is because I'm actually a poet. I hear Quaker tell you, I write a song 5 minutes. That shit is a second nature to me because it's just, I trained myself since I was 9.
Yeah, it's just self-expression.
Yeah.
Who are some of your biggest influences?
Tupac, number 1. He had a song for every mood I felt, especially during those triumphs coming up. That Baby Don't Cry shit and Shed So Many Tears.
Yeah.
Hail Mary, certain songs that just, Brenda's Got a Baby, all these things that just touched me differently. So that was a big thing. TLC, I had fell in love and became enamored with them. I think it was the color palette. Now that I'm an adult and I look at it, I think it was just the color palette. But I found out through that process that T-Boz was my cousin, so then I became a super fan. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, no, that's my real cousin.
That's dope.
So that became like a super fan thing, and then TLC, Ali, and Missy all the same person, just different morphosis. So that's the trilogy of what I...
Amazing.
And Erykah Badu, because my uncle was an incense ass, my Afro type. He put it on you. Like, you can't come up over here and listen to none of that other stuff. You're going to respect yourself as a woman. And I respect him for that because that's why I got the duality I have. Because I was listening to Tupac, then I was also listening to Erykah and Lauren. I could only watch this. Like, I know the first Black Panther movie. Niggas don't even know that version. The one where they shot in Oakland, it's like Bobby Brown and them niggas in it. Nobody never even seen it. I'm like, it's a whole nother Black Panther movie. I could never watch nothing but this at Uncle Rashid house. Eating fucking mayonnaise
salad. You talking about the one with the Huey Newton in there?
Yeah, everybody. But it was like all the Black actors in it.
Yeah.
It was Bobby Brown. Who else was it?
I just remember, I think it was Chong's son. Wasn't it Chong's son?
Ezel, he was in there.
Yeah.
I can't think of it. It was a lot of power players in that movie.
I think they tried to bury that movie.
No, that was the first Black Panther.
Yeah.
And I remember it. I used to have to watch that shit over and over. And Malcolm X. And I still don't know the Malcolm X movie because it's so fucking long. I'm a kid. Like, I'm moving. I'm like, I want this.
Have you ever had any opportunity to do music with any of those people? Erykah, Missy?
Nah.
We gotta make that happen, yo.
Nah, I haven't. I feel like, things with time... I feel like I only done like 50% of what I'm going to do in my career.
Yeah.
Only 15% because I had a deal, left the deal. The pandemic happened. I'm now just getting comfortable with, you're independent. Drop when the fuck you feel like it.
Yeah.
It takes a process. So I feel like when I get on a roll, because these people know who I am. They acknowledge me. I acknowledge them.
Yeah.
I've conversed with Missy before. It's not like it can't become a thing. I just think it has to manifest when the time aligns. Everything's about the universe sometimes.
I want to see that. I want to see Missy and Kamaiyah on one song.
I wouldn't be mad at it. It'll be fun for sure.
Okay, so 9 years old on, you got this job, you're writing poetry. What's your first time getting in the studio, and how do you get your songs, start putting your songs together?
I was probably like 12 or 11. I was at the Boys and Girls Club. I did a talent show, and a brother had a studio. He saw me. He like, my son does music. You should come over, whatever. And his son was probably like 3-4 years younger than me or whatever. He came over. He could let me come over a couple times. Then he tried to present like a contract type thing. And I was like, even though I was a kid, this is the walk with me.
You're 12 years old?
Like 11, 12.
That's actually illegal for minors to sign contracts.
Walk with me here. He gives it to my grandmother. Then my mom looks it over.
Okay.
So I'm going to tell you, just walk with me. I studied TLC.
Yeah.
So I didn't know a lot, but I knew better than that, and I knew how people got over on you.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I don't think I should be doing that. So within the process of meeting Lazarius, I met another guy named Carvello, and he was like, well, you could come to my house, and this is what I thank for, and I'm grateful for him to this day. He's like, you can't cuss, though. I can write a song so fast, and I can make a song and not even say a cuss word. A lot of people can't even do that, but it's because I'm strategically trained in that way, and I had to memorize the song. He's like, you can't come over here till you memorize it, and you can't cuss. So them two things, I was like, I hate this nigga. But that shit became my greatest strength to this day. That was the greatest thing he instilled in me, was I can't do these two things. And it made me one of the best artists.
Training.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He had me in there in the warfare. He's like, you can't do this, you can't do this. You still a little kid. And I think when I became a teenager, like 16, 17, I stopped going over there. Because at that point, it's like Hyphy moving all these things, and he just did not register with it. And obviously, I'm rebelling because this is what I want to do. Culturally following the sound. And he's just like, nah, this ain't what I see for you. Even back then, I had a different rap name. He like, why you don't want to go by your name? Your name's unique. I was like, fuck that. That's corny. Everybody got a different name. I'm doing everything in there. Full service 360. Now look back. I'm all the shit he told me to be when I was like 11, 12.
He knew what he was talking about.
He did.
Yeah.
So shout out to Carmelo because he was like, you got a cool name. I'm like, fuck that. I want to be Kamaiyah. That's a rapper name.
You were influenced by the Hyphy movement too.
When I was like real young, like it was just something to do.
Yeah.
When I look at it as an adult, I don't like the core values of what it stood for. And that's just me being honest.
That comes up a lot on this podcast.
Like, okay, so we doing drugs, everybody killing each other, hanging out of windows, fucking being violent and defiling property. Okay, cool.
Yeah, I know. I said a lot. Like, people look back with the nostalgia, like, especially kids that weren't really around, but, like, people were getting, like, hurt. People were getting shot and crashing cars.
I feel like my friends are a byproduct of the culture, though.
Yeah.
Like, I lost a lot of friends to drugs and things of that nature. Because what you speaking as an adult, a child is hearing.
Yeah. So
you got these preteens and teenagers now doing ecstasy who bodies can't handle that. And, you know, it was just a different type of situation for me when I look back at it. Like, like, even now we grown, there's so many people who have drug addiction and shit because they started so young.
Yeah.
Like, we shouldn't have been trying to drink and do drugs at that age, but that's what was integrated in the culture.
For sure. It wasn't the most uplifting movement in that sense. I mean...
I remember niggas was cutting school. We in the middle school, and niggas 13 going to go get ecstasy. Like, I'm thinking about it now when I'm growing. Like, where the fuck was that a thing? Yeah. Niggas like, smoking Newports and blacks at 13 and shit. Like, that's just...
Like popping a pill at like 11:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
Like, just to do some regular shit. Yeah.
Like, I mean, when I first smoked weed, because I was never a drug user. So, I mean, when I first smoked weed, I'm in class, I'm high as fuck, trying to fake sleep and shit. Yeah. Like, you just doing shit and it's like, why is this... Why do you want to smoke weed in the fucking 7th grade and go to class? Yeah. It makes no fucking sense. You in here stoned the fuck out. Like,
no, I agree.
Teacher looking at you like, bitch, I know something wrong. You high, bitch?
Plus, they say when you're smoking weed when you're a kid, you lose brain cells that you can't really get back.
See?
Yeah.
I'm glad I... Think about me is I have psychosis when I do weed. So.
Oh, you one of them?
Yeah, so it's like... That wasn't fun. But I always tell my friends, I feel like my ancestors put a block on me. Mm-hmm. They'll let you get away with like once or twice, and after that, tweak.
Yeah, it's not for everybody.
You know, I think it's just a block. It's like, that's not your journey. You're supposed to go over here. You trying to follow these people. They shit is what it's going to be. You supposed to be over here doing some other shit. Right. Imagine me as a stoner. You probably wouldn't be sitting here with me at all if I was like a stoner or a drug user because I wouldn't be vibrating in the energy I'm in.
You got some good energy about you.
It's a different type of... I don't even like me when I'm high. Right. I feel like I'm a weirdo. Because, you know, when you got natural high energy, when you do drugs, it's the opposite. So now you all weird, you antisocial, you in your head and shit. Niggas think you tripping, I am tweaking. I'm like, these niggas don't set me up. These niggas, I'm thinking crazy shit because I'm high. So.
I know. I've had a lot of moments like, what the fuck am I doing with my life?
You start tweaking.
What the fuck is this?
I don't want that shit. That's not fun. It's not fucking fun.
Okay, so at what point did music, like, take off for you? Because I feel like that was
it was like increments. So it was like the phase where I am introduced to recording. Then I separate myself. Then I go to this place called Youth Uprising. Mm-hmm. And then within that setting is where I met people you may know as D-Lo, DB the General, Rico the Kid, these people. And that's where I got my real training. Because now I'm going against grown-ass men.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? Now I'm battling a little bit. So I got my first local record with DB the General. I was on his Welcome to the Navy album. Y'all probably don't even know.
I didn't know that.
No, so if you go listen, it's a song called VIP. It was actually my song, and he wanted it so bad, took it and put it on his album, but it actually worked in my favor. It got people familiar with my sound. And then I had another song with a D&I mic called Bad Babe. It was hella big in the Bay. So that's when I'm like 16. I'm hella popular at that point. But when I got my real start is when I went solo. After I had a phase in the group. We had moments or whatever that trickled in the Bay. But when I went solo is when I got Out the Bottle and How Does It Feel? And it just...
Who else was in the group?
All my play brothers. Okay. People I grew up with. Okay. You still see them in them. It was me, Joey B, and Cocaine J. All these people I'm naming on How Does It Feel that's all the niggas in the group.
Okay.
So they've been around. You see them with me, but you probably didn't know because when I got famous, I took over our YouTube channel and I suppressed all the old shit. That was mad as hell to like, bitch, how you gonna delete all our videos? I'm like, I don't want my fans to know that shit. So,
yeah.
And I left like 2 or 3 up, but the rest I tucked them motherfuckers. I'm like, I don't want them to see that.
I think I remember when those songs came out. How does it feel? Mm-hmm. Especially, I was working with kids at the time. I was teaching like a hip hop class over at Hunters Point, and they wouldn't fuck with the music I was playing. I was playing Wu-Tang, like this.
Don't fuck with that shit either.
What, for real?
No,
what?
But what you gotta think about when you a kid, like.
No, I know.
And it's so much shit.
I would still let them play like.
And I'm telling you, as an adult, I still ain't dope. I done watched the Wu-Tang series and still ain't dope into their catalog.
Wow.
It's just different. We from the West Side.
Okay. No, I'm just trying to expose them.
Like Souls of Mischief is the closest thing to that sound over here.
I'm just trying to expose them. It's a hip hop. I'm playing them Quinn. I'm playing them just so you know, like here is some older shit.
Yeah.
And then I'll let them.
You gotta play the cool shit.
I'll play the cool shit.
I know Freaky Tales ain't cool, but that's the shit that slap. Like
I would let them play the whip and the nay and all that stuff too. Is that era? But out of all the music I played for them, like your song, there was like this shit slap.
That's hard.
And that song took off.
Nah, I did. I knew it would though.
You just like the way it sounded. You just believed in it.
I just felt it was a feeling.
Yeah.
And then, like I told you, I was at my grandma's house. I'm like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
And I just remember my brother did 7 years for me. So he came home. And I'll never forget it. We sitting on my granny porch. I'm like, nigga, I'm about to be famous. This shit is... I'm like, I know you just came home, but I think I'm about to be gone. Because I just felt it. And it just... He like, yeah. I'm like, yeah. And he watched it. He like, damn. Everything you said that was going to happen happened. Because I just felt it. Like, when you record a certain record, you just know it's special. And I didn't think that... I never said it was going to be, triple, quadruple platinum. I said it was going to get me out the ghetto. And it did what the fuck I said. It changed my whole life, that one song. Mm-hmm. Because now everybody like, all right, this sound is hella different. Who the fuck is this? Mm-hmm. And that's all it really was. It was just me being different. And everybody like, I have never heard nobody in the bass sound like this. Yeah,
different sound. The SOS band sample has been used before, but it was a good flip. Mm-hmm. And then what you're talking about is like very positive. Mm-hmm. And
now you get to walk with me here. I'm at my granny house. I want to get the fuck.
Yeah, it's coming from a real place.
I felt like I got to get the fuck. Mm-hmm. How does it feel to be rich? Shit, get me out of here.
That comes up a lot when I talk to people.
But you manifest the thing. I don't think a lot of people understand. Like, you manifest on these records.
Exactly.
It's like a spell when you talk, and they be saying some negative. That's why you pay attention. If you say negativity, you talking about your friends dying all day. You talking about you shooting at niggas. You gonna end up in that situation, whether you was or not. Because a lot of these new dudes, they just be talking about this shit that they ain't even living. Mm-hmm. But you manifest it towards you. Because you know why? If you weren't living it, people who are living it are going to try you. So now you're in a predicament to live out that prophecy you spoke over yourself.
Yeah, very well said.
That's why I always say shit. I could be talking about having X, Y, and Z. I might not have it, but I'm going to get it.
I like that. Yeah, I like that. It kind of reminds me of like when we had Prezi on here, he was talking about do better. Mm-hmm. It's all just coming from his real experience. Mm-hmm. And that message of, I need to fucking do better. Mm-hmm. Like, it's kind of similar with your song, too.
He did better. Exactly. He went gold.
Exactly. But what's interesting about that song and your trajectory is that it wasn't like a local hit that just stayed local. It took off nationally.
So this is the thing you guys don't see that I can talk about now is the trajectory and what it was supposed to be. It never reached because YG never activated any records from me at radio. So the label was ready. They like, just tell us yes. He like, no, I don't think that's the one.
Wait. So
let's do Why You Always Hating.
Can we rewind just a little bit before we even get there? Yeah. So that song came out, Out the Bottle came out. Mm-hmm. That got YG's attention because he's only your first. Well,
no, it didn't get his attention. It was Sycamore who attention it got.
Okay.
So Sycamore and I had a manager.
That's the A&R dude,
so
right? Mm-hmm.
He was up here. He was initially supposed to be signed to HBK.
Wasn't that the dude, Dio, that wasn't did Young T.O. say that he was Young T.O.
So they called me to get that to happen. Mm-hmm. Joey Mandan called me and I called T.O. and told him because Mustard wanted T.O. first.
Interesting.
And then they ended up calling me like, do you know this guy? I'm like, I do.
Interesting.
Yeah, no. So everything ties in.
Yeah.
So Joey and Sycamore are best friends. at Interscope. So, yeah, that's how...
So that got on his radar, and that got you to the label.
So YG, what happened was they flew me out to do songs, and I did 10 songs in one night. And obviously, Sycamore's working on Still Brazy with YG at that time. They walked me over there like, oh, she just did this. And he like, why y'all shipping her everywhere else? Why y'all ain't letting me sign her? I just started my label. And I always wanted to be on Death Row. Because initially, I was supposed to be on fucking Epic or Atlantic. I chose him by way of me always wanting to be on Death Row. I probably should have went to Atlantic. But everything works out the way it was supposed to. So, yeah, that's how I ended up on 400. Because he was like, who the fuck is it? And then he heard what I was saying. He was like, I need that. And in the midst of that, I recorded Fuck It Up. And I think I was smarter than he was because I got the record that's culturally still impactful. Yeah, Drake was on that one, but this is the one that we go outside and ain't nobody getting away from this shit.
Yeah, I actually just saw on TikTok that, like, someone was DJing that song at a party and it was
they mixing it with Not Like Us and all type of shit still. Like, it's just, it's not going away. And we never had it on the radio, and it's platinum, double platinum. I haven't got it certified yet, but I'm like, if we would have put this shit on the radio when I told y'all, this shit would be 4 or 5 times platinum.
Damn, man, that's a hell of a trajectory. Were you like, this is fucking crazy? Or were you like, nah, I did this. This is what it was.
I feel like I was destined for that. I knew it. That's why I fought for it. It's like, when you know who you are and what the hell you're supposed to be, you don't let nobody tell you what the fuck you can't do. And that's just me. Like, even right now, motherfuckers probably counting me out right now. Then when I'm sitting on the top of the charts in the top 10 of Billboard forever, they're gonna be like, well, shit, what the fuck? Because that's what I see. I don't think I'm about to be just stuck in the middle. Because that's where I'm at right now in the middle. I don't want to go back down, so I can only go up. It feels like shit.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I'm going to fuck up. I want to go back down. Because going back down means I'm going back to the fucking ghetto, and that's what we not fucking doing.
Yeah, it's not an option.
Yeah.
Damn. So you're on YG's label.
Yeah.
You're doing songs with him. But see, so I think what you're emphasizing is these are your songs that he's hopping on.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's what happened.
So he's on your first mixtape with Fuck It Up.
Yeah.
And then Why You Always Hating goes on his album.
Yeah, because I recorded that prior to me even meeting him.
That's crazy.
He'll tell you, though. He said it before. He said it in the interview.
And then he got Drake to do a verse on there.
Yeah, he sent it to him. He was like, I got this artist. And Drake had just honestly messaged me like a couple days before.
Yeah.
And me and Drake became acquainted. And he was like, oh, I have this artist.
He taps into the underground, for sure.
And he was like, oh, I got this song with this girl named Kamaiyah. I'm about to sign. Drake was like, I'm on it. And that's how it happened that quick.
That had to be pretty exciting.
I don't know. Like, I'm one of these people, and Quake could tell you I'm not even being fucking extra. I don't look at celebrities like people do. I look at them as other people.
Yeah.
So he'll tell you it's only a select people. Like, if Missy called me, I'm gonna run down the fucking home. There's not a lot of people that can do that. It's like Mariah Carey, Missy, certain people that I'm just fought the fuck out for.
Yeah.
Other than that, it's just like, this is the number day at the office. If I'm at fucking work and the corporate come up in here, I'm not finna, the boss is here. You know, it's just like, that's just my job. So I look at this as like my job. So when he reached out to everybody else, they screaming, they running everywhere. Drake followed you. I'm like, oh, for sure. Ain't that what's supposed to happen when you become successful? That's how I look at it. Like,
yeah.
I don't know. The only person that I haven't done music with that I want to do music with is Future. That's my favorite rapper. I love Future.
I think that's a good approach, though. Like, someone asked me, is there anyone you look up to? I said, nope. I look at everybody eye to eye. I admire people's talents and I respect their abilities, but I don't idolize anybody.
And that's how you don't get engrossed into the powers that be of the industry.
Oh, hell yeah.
You get your feelings hurt and shit when you start being emotionally attached to niggas you don't know.
Okay, so let's talk about that, Kamaiyah.
Give too much a fuck. People who know me know. And niggas who know me know who I actually know. It's not a celebrity I ain't met. I'm telling you, I'm sitting here with you, I done sat with Jay-Z and Beyonce. I don't get too.
Yeah.
I just don't take pictures. I just have my moments and go.
Yeah, I like that.
I don't really too much care for the gratification of others.
I think it's
by way of another nigga.
That's a confidence thing too, right? You don't really need that validation. If you feel yourself enough, it's like, of course I'm here with Jay-Z. Yeah, what's up, bro? We're peers. Or you rap, I rap too, buddy. It's all good.
Yeah, no, you can't. And I think that makes people like that take a liking to you because they know you're not around them or in the vicinities for weird shit.
And they don't like people like that. They get enough people coming up to them like, oh my God, come on, I take a picture with you. I gotta get you on my house.
And they asked. He asked. He's like, you want a picture? I'm like, no. And a lot of people know I was on Rock Nation. I seen Jay a lot, and I never asked him for a picture. Never asked him for a picture.
Pretty cool.
I did not want no pictures. I don't know. And you know, that was a part of the rollout they wanted. They like, oh, when we announced you on Rock Nation, you should get a picture with Jay so we could tell niggas. And it was just like, that ain't me.
Yeah.
And niggas, that's why if I didn't have this conversation with you, probably would never even knew. Because I just don't get engrossed. And maybe that's why I'm not as famous as people think I should be. Because I don't do shit like that. I don't really care.
Fame is overrated anyway.
Yeah, I'm like,
But
fucking pictures just for another nigga to be like, you know, a nigga. Nigga, you should already know that if you know I'm talented, that these other talented individuals know the fuck I am.
Yeah.
I'm not a normal talent, no fucking shade to nobody. I'm a generational talent. You're never going to get another me.
I like
so,
that.
Of course, I know these motherfuckers. Of course, Mariah Carey had me at her house when I ate.
I like that
That's
energy.
normal.
Look
at Quay. He like, oh, God. That's real shit. That's real shit. Like,
nah, he going in. I like it. Do you feel like when you got to the major labels, do you feel like you saw like the dark side, the ugly side of the industry?
I never would tell anybody I had a dark experience. I would just say that I signed to an artist who does not understand the business.
Okay.
That's just it.
Typically, that's signing to another rapper. That's kind of how it goes.
Because everybody else fuck with me. I ain't got no bad experience from nobody. Everybody loved me. They embraced me. They believed in me. That nigga signed me and it seemed like he didn't believe enough. But it's like, what the fuck did you sign me for? But I don't even think that's it. I just think he doesn't. So it's like with his thing, Def Jam did your roll-ups. Def Jam fronted the bill.
Right.
So you didn't have to deal with that. When you had to do that for somebody else, you don't understand that process and it just doesn't blow over well. Your turnaround rate is terrible. You haven't had one artist become a success. Me, by way of me, it happened. Because it was already a thing that was going to happen. Everybody else over there, it was just... It does not work in your favor.
So you had an album that you turned into him, and you feel like it got fumbled.
No, for sure. For sure. I turned in multiple versions of the same shit. I'm like, at this point, you got me questioning my own talent, and this is where I have to exit because that's where you never want to be as a creative. When you starting to create art, and people are telling you your art isn't good enough, and you know it is, then you start to feel like I'm doing the wrong thing. And it's like, no, God gave you this talent. You know what you're doing. It's not what they want for them. It's not their vision. You're not living in your vision. You're living in somebody else's. That's not my prophecy. So I got to go walk in my own fulfillment. And I did. I walked away. And I was smart when I walked away because as soon as I left, guess what? COVID-19. Yeah. So I would have got dropped any fucking way as well.
Yeah.
So I left with grace and a respectable man. You never want to get dropped. I got released.
So, but that took a while, right? So you're...
No. It was a situation where they said my album was coming out on this day. Then they called me and said they moving it again. I said, hey, we're going to have a meeting. Fuck this. Joey Manda asked me. He said, are you sure? I said, I'm sure. He said, because you're my friend. Hey, you're my friend. I still believe in you. I want you to win. You're my friend. Why'd you didn't show up to the meeting? So I feel like that gave him the fuel to be like, all right, I'm just going to release it. He released me. I didn't own Interscope a dime still to this day.
Nice.
That never happens.
Yeah.
They just let me fucking go. They was like, bye.
Yeah.
Wish you luck, bitch.
You didn't get to keep your masters?
I mean, it wasn't nothing of masterable that I needed.
Oh, okay. So the album got shelved then, basically.
But I'm saying anything that they kept wasn't nothing of significance to me because I know what I could create.
Okay.
Like, you got to think about it. They only own like 3-4 songs because Good Night and Ghetto wasn't theirs.
Right.
So it's like, shit. Like, fuck it up, I own that.
Nice.
So it's like, it's not nothing of significance that they own. So it's like...
Yeah.
All right, for sure. Y'all keep Windows and Addicted to Ballin'. I don't need that shit.
Yeah. One project I heard that was supposed to come out that never did was an album with you and Kehlani.
Yeah, no, that was around the time. So that's what created the issue. They wanted that to come first. And I'm like, I've been fighting for this for 5 years. You're going to tell me no before I can have somebody else's art come out with me? That's just not. And me and her ended up having a falling out over that because I felt like at that time, you know, we talked, we severed that. But it felt like, oh, you need me. And it's like, I don't need nobody. I'm not that type of artist. That's why it didn't come out. It was my doing.
So you wanted to push your own stuff forward before...
And then you got to remember, too, in the midst of that, I hooked them up. So imagine what's really the shit going on behind closed doors.
Getting pretty messy there.
Exactly. So, and that's when the public be like, oh, it's this. Y'all don't know what the fuck really happened.
Yeah.
I had to live through this shit. It was some sick shit going on.
Toxic relationship.
And manipulative shit, you know. It's just a bunch of manipulation. And it's like, I'm not a person, like I just told you, who cares about fame. If I was a coattail writer, I could have fucking shut the fuck up and bowed the fuck down. Put out the album with Kehlani, then an album right afterwards by myself and been big as fuck right now. I didn't care.
Wow.
Self-respect. Like, some shit is just about respect.
Some standing on business, not compromising your values.
No, it was a very beautiful project. I always say we created great music together. We still could, but it's just like, that wasn't for me.
And it won't see the light of day.
I mean, that's on her.
Okay.
I don't really mind if it's done with respect. and we have a mutual understanding with the music. At that time, it was no mutual understanding. It was not in my favor. Everything was for everybody else and their ulterior motives. Yeah. I'm a nigga that just like doing music. I'm doing it for the music. All this other stuff, I'm not playing that game.
Didn't y'all get bipped too?
Yeah, no, here. They took everything. We shot a video, they took everything out the car. Yeah, they took everything out the car.
They took the whole project.
While we shooting the video?
In Frisco.
They took the project, they took the fucking cameras with all the documentary shit.
Damn.
Yeah, we shooting a doc and everything. It was a lot going on during that time. They took all that shit. But I feel like everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
That was never supposed. And when you look at the universe and signs, I was like, this shit was never supposed to happen.
Yeah.
It was never supposed to happen.
Yeah. Wow, what a journey. When you talking about like these major label situations, stuff behind the scenes, toxic situations, do you feel it's difficult for women to navigate the music industry?
Hell yeah, especially when you're more alpha.
They don't want that. They want a submissive.
When you live in your femininity and you're submissive, you lead by way of your body. No offense to no woman, but a lot of them lead with what they know they can use. But when you lead with your brain, it's like your words is never going to manipulate me because I see through it.
And you feel like
it makes for a harder journey.
That's threatening to people too.
For men and their egos as well. Because a lot of niggas is insecure and narcissistic.
Yeah.
So if you're in a business full of narcissists who aren't really, they're children, they're not men. Because a man leads with his word and his actions matching. They don't do that.
Say that one more time, please.
A man leads with his words and actions matching. They don't do that.
All right, I hope you guys are taking notes out there, gentlemen.
So it's like, me personally, when I noticed that off the top, I'm like, you gotta remember, we're from Oakland. Our families is by way of Panthers. I'm not a regular girl you're talking to. So it's like, when I'm getting in the rooms with people and I'm like, that works for her because she doesn't understand the game. I am game. So it's like,
there you go.
It's not gonna work.
Yeah. Did you were people trying to pressure you to change your sound, your style, your image?
I've never had that problem.
Okay.
Ever. I've never had that. Everybody be like, dude, even Drake, that's the first thing he told me. He said, the game needs you. Don't ever change, do you? He said, it's going to be some things that happen in your career. Mind you, he told me this when he first came over, and this shit all had happened and made sense later. It's like, it's going to be some things that happen. It's going to be people you think your family that's going to be doing shit to you that you ain't going to understand how it happened. You're going to be looking back. Your whole everything gonna change. He's like, you just gotta keep going because I done went through it. Because he was going through, I'm not gonna speak on he was going through his own situation. And that was a time when he was putting out views, when he finally owned a lot of his shit. So he's telling me from his experience, you gonna experience some shit. But I'm not thinking at that time, like, I'm gonna experience some crazy. Everything he said, when I look back, I'm like, damn, that nigga said everything that was right.
Right.
I just gotta keep going. It's like, don't give up, because that moment when you quit, it's just like, shit, the next day could have been your blessing. And all the greats, they go through the same shit. They go through multiple deals. They go through multiple situations where they thought it was that. And then later on, it's some random shit. And it's like, now you MC Hammer. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like, you just can't give up.
Absolutely. My whole life has been revolving around hip-hop since I was a damn kid. I'm just now finally starting to get a little bit of traction in this thing and really pay my bills off it. So I had a few close calls where I was going to quit. Did you ever feel like quitting too?
Never.
Never? Okay.
I say that shit, but I just be mad. Fuck this shit. I'm not doing this shit no more. Niggas be in their feelings. Fuck everybody. It'd be like, and then I look, and then 3 days later, my period comes. Oh.
Oh, that's what it was.
Okay. Just being dramatic, you know. I'll never really be, because I just don't see my life without music.
Yeah.
I am a high school dropout who became successful. So it's like, shit, what the hell you gonna do? Go back to school? Hell no.
Yeah.
Mind you, I was a person who could have graduated and excelled early. I was a 4.0 student, but I'm like, I don't want to do this. My mama was so mad. She's like, who the fuck drops out in the 12th grade?
Yeah, yeah.
I want to be a rapper. Then I did it so backwards, I dropped out and then went to college by way of entrance exams.
Right.
Because you know you got to take an exam. You don't have a diploma.
Yeah.
And she's like, how the fuck you get in college without finishing? She's like, you different.
I wanted to touch on something else you were kind of getting at, like when you talk about like the physical, like submissive woman, like there's way more women rapping, which is awesome, right? But to be honest, there's a lot of women, I feel like kind of same subject matter, same appearance, same kind of image, Like, I'll just use her as an example. No disrespect. Like the Ice Spice thing, like.
She sucks. I don't give a fuck.
Okay, there you go. Hey, she said it, not me. Shout out to Ice Spice, though.
I'm from Oakland.
But, basically, like, her ass is, like, in every...
And that don't even exist no more. She got rid of that.
She got rid of her ass.
I don't really like it because she did some unfavorable shit to her best friend and she dark-skinned. And, I'm big on the black women, black queen thing. So it's like, you lost me, bitch. I didn't like you to begin with because you sucked.
I mean, I wouldn't ride around listening to Ice Spice.
Like, now you really lost me. Now you dissing dark-skinned bitches? Oh, no.
But you know what I'm talking about, though? Like, basically, there's a whole genre of, like, twerking and rapping about eating ass and, like, getting tricked on. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, what are your thoughts on that?
I think what works for other people's careers and what they see, they fulfill. If it's not a lot of examples, what do you expect, Who's fulfilling the top seats as women? So what does people do when they see something? They mimic it. You can't get mad at what people are byproducts of the culture you created. Mm-hmm. I'm a byproduct of what the fuck I saw, which was Missy, a little bit of Lil' Kim, a little bit of Tupac, a little bit of this. I had different varieties. The people underneath us and after that don't have that. They only have Nicki.
I agree.
So it's like everybody's a little different variation of Nicki. Mm-hmm. And you can't be mad at that because that's how it was organized and orchestrated.
Do you see any women becoming in the newer generation that are like standing out to you at all?
Everybody love Doechii. She dope. I like Lotto last project. Mm-hmm. I listen because I don't listen to a lot of that type of stuff. Not because I don't feel people are talented, but it's just not me.
Right.
So I'm not gonna listen. Like I have my songs I turn up to like a normal woman does, but a whole full body of fuck these niggas.
Yeah, exactly.
So no, I know Megan, so I'm gonna shout out Megan. Tierra Wax dope. I'm trying to think of somebody I'm missing because I know I'm missing somebody. It's so many bitches, bro. No offense, but it's just hella bitches, bro. I can't tell you, like, off the bat because you put me on the spot, but it's just so many of them. Yeah. Because I listen to City Girls when I want to be in a certain mood. Or I might listen to Megan when I feel like this if it's a certain song for that. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, I don't know. Like, I love what JT's doing because I feel like I love a triumph story and an underdog. So I'm definitely rooting for her 1,000% because I just love to see people stand their own too and find their own identity. And she's doing that successfully. She just had a highly successful tour. I've been watching from afar. Like, all right, she has a narrative. So I feel like she's going to win. The fans are there for that story. There's not a lot of... I like Lil Sims, too. She from across the water, though. I like her. She hella dope to me. I like people who just different. Mm-hmm. It take a lot to capture my eye, for real.
Yeah.
Oh, it's this one girl. People ain't even hip to her yet. It's this girl named Bangs. I think she from, like, Brooklyn or some shit. She hella hard to me.
Dope.
It's like that Harry Fraud-ish type New York real rap shit. I like that. Yeah, but I don't really get in my whip and listen to that shit. No offense. I bang all the player shit or I listen to 70s, oldies and shit. You can tell from my music, I don't really listen to a lot of hip-hop.
Yeah. I still listen to mostly like older music myself.
I can't get into all the nigga give me your money, pay my bill shit.
Yeah. Me neither. I respect it, but yeah, it's not
but
for me.
I respect everybody. Like, one thing I can always say that I am an advocate of is I can like you and not listen to your music. Like, I could be a fan of you.
Of course.
And I feel like people take offense to that because they be feeling like, well, why do you like me? Because I like what's your story. Yeah. The problem why a lot of people aren't successful now is because you don't know their story.
Yeah, it's true.
What do you know about Ice Spice?
She's from the Bronx.
And what else?
She got flown out by Drake.
You don't know how she grew up. What was her sacrifices?
Isn't she biracial?
I don't know nothing. I don't know nothing about none of these people.
Can you fact check that? Is Ice Spice
the last artist that I know their story and I seen them win is Lotto because I saw her from the rap game.
Yeah.
Then I saw her go through her triumphs and become successful. Other people, I don't know.
No, I agree.
Just show up and it's like, who the fuck are you?
I agree.
And then you got a song and then nobody gives a fuck because nobody knows your story.
Yeah.
What are your fans fighting for?
Yeah.
They have to know something. That's why I worked. When I came in, they saw the story. She making it, her friend died from cancer. Oh, I love this girl. She came from foster care, I was in foster care. Her friend died, my mama got cancer. It was a story there. It's no story to these people. You just see them and you're like, well, who the fuck are you?
Yeah, it's very valid.
No,
the other
shit.
critiques.
I can't tell you nothing about Tusi. I just know his name.
Yeah.
I don't know his story.
No, I'm like that with a lot of artists too.
I'll be like, damn, well, what's the story?
Yeah.
I feel like it was a shit called EPK. It sound old now because we,
the electronic press kit.
It had the bio, it had all the
Yeah.
shit you knew. It's like,
Yeah.
all right, this is what I'm going to listen to. This is who this person is.
Yeah.
Where the fuck are the EPKs now?
Yeah.
We don't know shit about these people. The labels find them, they package
yeah.
it, throw them on the stage.
You just got social media.
And then when the shit you see ain't nothing that you want to see, it ain't favorable to the artist's brand. So it's like, it ain't making me want to be your fan.
Right.
Because you doing wild shit online, and then in one moment now everybody hates you, and it's like, shit, what am I going to defend you for?
Or just the same shit. We could talk about the dudes too. Like how many pictures like this can you take, bro? With the lean bottle and the money wad, and you know what I'm saying?
And tell us that your teacher told you weren't gonna be shit.
Come on, man. Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
My teacher ain't never told me that shit. I can't relate.
I seen a kid post a rap video where he said that. My teacher said I wasn't in school, I was running around with the Glock. And then his next post was talking about how he graduated from high school.
Stupid.
Come on, kid. Get it together, man. Let's figure this out.
Stupid. These kids is different, man.
But that's one thing I like about you is your uniqueness. So we talking about the pandemic hit, and then basically now you gotta go independent. So what's that transition been like for you?
I just had to learn a new game.
Yeah.
And it's not different from what we knew, right? Because where we from, everybody was just out the trunk with it. Mm-hmm. But now it's like everybody's attention span is so short, so you gotta just even more. Back then you could drop some shit, wait 6 months. Oh no, you can't even wait 6 days. These niggas gonna forget about you. So you just gotta get hit with the times and stay in their face, and eventually you get something that lands, and then you quality control it. But that's what I had to learn. Like, you can't just drop a song and that's that. Hope a label push it. They don't give a fuck. TikTok ain't gonna do it for you. You want a fan base?
Yeah.
Give them bodies of work rapidly.
Do you feel comfortable and confident, like pushing your stuff out there and promoting, doing what you got to do, learning the business?
I don't think this is my issue. My issue is letting people in. Like, you see, I have no filter. I have not said nothing that's just.
I like that. I respect that.
I'm a nigga that I get canceled because I'm going to speak my mind. So that's what's always been the issue with me. I don't like cameras. Cause I'm like, nigga, I ain't the nigga you sure? My label used to be like, no. This bitch is crazy. Don't do it.
When you say letting people in, though, you mean like for your team or like collaboration?
Fans. Like, I feel like I'm one of the people where a lot of people don't really know me.
Oh.
Because you got to think about it. It's like a big gap from the Drake shit to now. That's a long time.
So you got to tell your own story. You got to take your own advice.
I got to reintroduce myself.
You got to shoot a new EPK.
No, for sure. We've been talking about doing a little docs and stuff here and there because just people hearing what I'm telling you, a lot of people don't know. And it may be somebody who experienced something very similar but didn't know, oh, damn, because she did it, I could keep going. Like, a lot of niggas just give up. Like,
I watched a couple clips of past interviews just to prepare for this, and to be honest, your vibe was standoffish in some of them.
It's the energy.
Yeah.
I don't feel like I be standoffish though. Which one you watched?
I don't think you yourself are standoffish, but in those interviews you peered a little bit. In Vlad TV interview and the No Jumper interview.
Well, No Jumper, I was very comfortable.
Okay.
Both of them, actually, I don't feel like what people see, I got. They were actually very kind men to me.
Okay.
They were very nice to me. Vlad's actually from here, so
yeah,
that's what we touched on. And I think the energy of the trajectory of his interview was weird because it started off with me crying. He started instantly talking about my brother dying from cancer. That was like the first.
Got you.
So I feel like from there, my mood was already
maybe
somber.
that's what it was.
It was very somber.
And to be fair, I didn't watch the whole interviews, but there's like another clip I saw on TikTok that's kind of going damn near viral, or it has been viral. It's basically about you talking with Adam about
the bitches.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about?
I said it first. Yeah, I said it first. And what happened was I said that it was like a prophecy. And 3-4 years later, everybody hate each other. I'm like, well, I told y'all.
Yeah.
Because at that time, they was pushing this false sisterhood. I'm like, everybody don't like each other. They don't have to.
Yeah.
Don't do that with me because I'm not finna act like I don't even fucking know you.
Yeah.
It's like, let's say you such and such and you come up to me and you got the cameras all in my. Now I'm be irritated because, bitch, I don't even know you.
Yeah.
And it feels like you're trying to get a moment for your peoples to make it look like it's something that does not exist.
Right.
And I feel like that's what the thing was. Oh, this is my sister. And then you see people saying shit about other people, and then everybody like, well, what the fuck is that? y'all forced the false sisterhood. All these publications and shit. Sisterhood in hip hop is thriving, bigger than it ever was in the 90s. No, it wasn't. That was real sisterhood. Mm-hmm. I bet you Missy and Kim still friends. Mm-hmm. I don't think none of these people from this era go be shit in the next 20 years because they don't like each other now.
Yeah.
When I look at Ladies Night, I'm looking at Mary J. Blige drunk there and not even supposed to be there.
Hell yeah.
I'm looking at TLC showed up saying fuck because left out here. All type of random people just there. That's real sisterhood. And they still was friends to this day. Right. I don't see none of these people doing that. And when they do it, it's label orchestrated. Oh, you should go such and such a shooting a video. I think it'll be a nice... Right. It ain't like, oh, sis, I'm shooting, pull up. It's a different type of thing.
Yeah, it's hard. I mean, man, you know, a lot of people on the outside looking in don't realize how fake a lot of shit is behind closed doors. Mm-hmm.
It's very, very fake. I don't do the fake shit.
Yeah.
If you don't know what my mama name is and none of that shit, you know my...
Yeah.
You ain't never even met her. Like, so how you gonna say I'm your... You know?
Yeah, we ain't all gotta be best friends. It's okay.
I feel like it's just it's surface level, then it's like the middle tier, then it's like we really locked in. Mm-hmm. I feel like everything in the industry, for the most part, most of the people is just surface to me. Mm-hmm. I ain't met their parents, so it's like, shit, I can't call you my friend.
Right. I think when I look at what you're doing now, too, like, it's still... I feel like you're like a top-tier artist from the Bay Area, still trying to push outside of the Bay Area.
I feel like I got that part. I think it's just making a solo world-renowned hit.
Okay.
Is what I think everybody's looking for.
Yeah.
Like, what's the hit from Kamaiyah?
Yeah.
You know, so I'm like, it's gonna come.
Yeah.
I'm not pressuring myself to get it because I know it's in me. It's gonna happen. So it's like, that's what it really is. That's the disconnect. I haven't had the hit that makes me... I've had the success, but not the hit. I'm like the most successful underground nigga you ever met, probably. That's what I tell people.
I met a lot of successful underground.
But I'm saying, like, with the mainstream, like having platinum, double platinum, I'm up there in that aspect.
You're up there for sure.
I'm underground.
For sure.
But I rub shoulders with everybody.
For sure.
And without having no record.
Yeah.
That's what it is. It's very interesting.
Yeah, you do kind of need... I mean, anybody, I'm speaking generally, like a record like that to kind of really take you
it's like, oh, that's her. Because I feel like Fuck It Up is me and YG. Mm-hmm. Why you always say it's me, YG, and Drake? What is Kamaiyah's hit? Mm-hmm. That's what they want. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's going to happen, though. There ain't nothing to stress or worry about or pressure myself into because I feel like I make good music. So with time, the people going to choose whatever that record may be.
I look forward to seeing the process
when I come back here and I got on big chains and rings and it's black trucks and Lamborghinis outside. Like, nigga, I told you, on my mama. Quake gonna have on the chain. It's gonna be different. Them glasses gonna be Cardis. Niggas gonna be different.
You definitely gotta come back. Don't forget about us.
No, I'm not that type of person. If I actually like you, I come back.
Okay.
If I don't like people...
Well, if she never comes back, you guys are gonna know why.
That's why it was very interesting for me with the No Jumper thing, because it was like, damn, I wanted to go back, but then the Terrell and all them, I was like, damn, for the culture.
Yeah.
And then Vlad never did nothing to me, so I would never say nothing bad about him. I'd go sit with Vlad any day. But it's like, a lot of people, they be like, these niggas are police. I'm like, well, you niggas are the informant. You tell them yourself. You can only answer what a nigga asks you, right? It's your choice to... He ain't asked me nothing that made me feel... And then I know how to dance around something, and I have a very expensive vernacular, so I'll say a word that had you like, all right, what the fuck that even mean? That's
a fine line, because, like, for me, doing these interviews, doing these podcasts, is like, of course, I know certain subjects are going to get a reaction.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, I like to have a little bit of integrity where I'm like, man, let's just put the music and the art first, you know?
It's on the artist.
Yeah.
If a nigga asks you, so I heard your homeboys did a drive-by and shot 3 people and a baby got killed. And then you get up there like, yeah, little such, that's my nigga. He be spinning. How the fuck you mad calling this nigga the police? You the one fucking cooperating to them?
I wouldn't even feel comfortable asking a question like that.
It's just like if you heard, like, yeah, I heard you got wrapped up in some stuff before and a nigga just go on to detail about specific shit that you ain't even asked. Like, how you mad at this man? Because you decided to dive off deep end and now you sitting in jail because you done told... Shit, the police sitting there with a notepad and a pen.
Absolutely.
That be them. They be telling on they fuck. I be watching it like, why would the fuck you... Okay.
Yeah.
I guess there's no statute of limitations.
I know. Am I watching First 48
or what? Because it's like they get the mic in it, but it's the fame. They want the glory and the attention for the wrong shit so bad that they telling shit. Motherfucker getting on live with big guns and shit. I'm like, nigga, this shit is illegal. Ain't none of them guns
Yeah, I know.
It's like just doing shit.
I know. But that's why I feel it's important to like provide outlets for there's other ways to get popping, you know?
Nah, for real.
And a lot of it can be who you are as a person, what you represent, who you are in this culture, how good your art is, what kind of person you are, all that good stuff, you know? But that's why I'm glad that you're here. And that's why I'm even more glad, ladies and gentlemen, that you're going to be on stage with us at History of the Bay Day with Souls of Mischief, the Mob Figures, and a lot more going on October 19th.
I'm thinking, I think Drew Dale coming because I said Pimp of the Year, and they got real excited.
Stay tuned. Oh, boy. But, yeah, man, thank you, Kamaiyah.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. And if you ever need our support, we're right here.
Oh, for sure.
Shout out to Quake Beast. Looking forward to hearing y'all project, collaboration.
Oh,
shout out to the whole Oakland, San Francisco, the whole Bay Area, even all my folks out there at Hayward, San Leandro.
Okay.
All that good stuff,
I love
man.
Hayward people.
Me too.
Very cultured.
They're nice and ghetto, but it's like suburban ghetto.
Cultured. You know what it is? All the ghetto people move their kids there.
Right.
And it just made it very cultured.
Right.
I love it.
And we're going to leave it like that, man. Kamaiyah's in the house. History Bay. I'm Dregs One, and I'll see y'all for the next episode. Peace.
Recognize where you got the game. We got our own style, got our own slang. Northern California is a West Coast thing. This is the history of the Bay. Recognize where you got the game. We got our own style, got our own slang. Northern California is a West Coast thing. This is the history of the Bay.